Okay. Attempt number 2. Trying to get this time down to 12. Good luck. Come on, let's roll the 1 and 3, or one of the 3 I want. If you know, you know. Right race, wrong gender. Hell no. Come on, bruh. Come on. No. No. Actually, no. 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 Brother. No.
Five, four.
Stop giving me short races, damn it.
2, 1.
Baby rage. Never lucky. Calculate when the tank tells you to bloodlust, but you already pressed it 5 seconds ago.
Another winner back. Another bag of coin for Murugi.
He be the one bringing my people here. Keep out of his way. For now.
You have some pretty Rick James pulls, as I like to call them. I'm for it. Cauterize the bleed. Zephyr the roar. Berserkers, I think below half they get enraged, so we just hold a pressing for that. There's one. I'm just gonna send it. I think I got 2 with that. Okay, we released the stasis going into that roar. I think it got like half value that it should have gotten.
Who be stealing my kill? Who be letting allow these little kittens go?
Be careful in here because of awkward LOS ports. This buff right here in the middle is 3% leech, 3% avoidance. And it's flat avoidance and leech, so it doesn't count towards your rating. Which means there's no diminishing returns on the stat. Huh? Oh, okay. I was like, where's the thing going, bro? Sag, wasted life spark proc. I cry every time. Bruh. Thank you. Tried to tail swipe that twice. It only went off the second time. We wing buff at that one. Yeah, we send it away, but we wanted to stop, so. He parried the mask. Interesting. Actually, okay. I actually understand that logic.
What does my eagle spy with her shiny eyes? A trespasser, an interloper, but you won't take my prey from me.
Cauterize bleed. Set up a stasis. Except for the roar. Release the stasis. That was my favorite stasis. Blessing, Dream Breath, Blessing. Scales my tank. Pretty chaotic pull for how few mobs there are. Interesting. Deep breath. For the stun. And we hold pressing roar for the erasure spell for the berserkers. It should happen like any minute now. There we go. I don't know why I stepped out of that then tail swiped. I should have just tail swiped. No, we already have them. We already have them all. Are we jumping over? Or are we pulling this back? Okay, we're pulling this back. He wants back. Okay. You want to stop that shrink because it does damage and I think like does something else. It's not just damage. It also makes you tiny soju. Makes it harder to dodge the AoEs. Not sure if it's anything more than that, but that's enough to warrant a stop. Okay. This boss is notably buggy as fuck, so if something weird happens, just attribute it to the boss, honestly. You can cauterize that bleed. That's the tank mechanic, it's a bleed. This is just a disease, so if you're like a priest or paladin or a monk, you can dispel yourself or somebody else.
Watch your step.
Otherwise, just like just do hot ramping.
Aim for the heart.
Should be enough. God, I wish
Take them down, Necrax.
it told who was targeted with the barrage. You want to stay like loosely spread out in different directions, not all stacked on each other. That way, multiple people don't get hit by the barrage. Ideally, because the damage becomes pretty unhealable when it's more than one target.
Traps incoming.
Okay, we can bank a cauterize on the next bleed.
With me,
Watch your
Necrax.
step.
Never mind, I'm not gonna be able to greed that.
Right on target. Necrax, fly. Can't wait the blood flow.
Pressed it way too early to get cauterized, or second cauterize from it.
If I don't get ya, Necrax will. Traps into my trap. Necrax,
Watch your step.
Probably rewinding this barrage.
Only
Okay, or I'm
the
just gonna die.
strongest survive.
That works too.
take them down, Necrax.
Do we really have to pre-defense of the barrage?
You
Be able to live? That's so cringe.
stick 'em, Necrax.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Necrax, no!
And I rescued all that is still alive. The regime bring them here. Kidnapping won't stop until we get to the root. Follow me.
There's no telegraph for that ability.
Not be natural. And the energy flowing into it. This is hex magic, using the souls of the dead in powerful magic spells. I hope this is not why they brought my king here. If the maker of that monstrosity be here, we must stop them and make sure their creation is put down.
Ooh, that was a really lucky dispel. Dispelled by DH right as he got a second stack. Big buggers. I'm trying to greed my Essence Burst for mana whenever I can. That way you keep your mana high, never have to drink. You can play tempo. That's why I like that talent. Not because it's necessarily good, per se, but because it just, because of what it allows you to do. You can rescue people out of that because that sacrifice is considered a root for some reason. Which means Freedom and Tiger's Blast and Shapeshift also work. It also means if you get targeted, you can either Deep Breath or Rescue. I don't have a second Rescue, boys. That's why I pinged it.
It'd be worse than we thought. How many of my people have died here?
Tormented Souls, Spirit Rain is what causes the spell. The debuff that has to be dispelled. So the more you get kicks, the more you get stops off of it, the less damage that comes out. You do what I call a ghetto master spell before you go into the pool by dead casting Naturalize on 3 people. I personally don't really think that's worth, because it's just as good a lot of times to just have healing prepped, but it is something notable you can do. Actually, the real reason I don't like it is because you can't guarantee who needs a dispel. Because your stasis targets are fixed on whatever you target during your stasis, but the debuff can go on anybody. It's a useful chip to keep in your back pocket, but there's reasons why I don't usually use it. The reason why I'm casting like TA and Reversion so much, by the way, is just trying to get Essence Burst procs so I can just freely either Echo Ramp or Disintegrate for mana. Literally getting mana for free doing that. What I mean by free is it's costing no resource. So Disintegrate costs no Essence because you're using Essence Burst. So you're converting one resource, or you're converting a proc for a resource, rather than a resource for a resource. That's where the talent really shines, in my opinion. Pres doesn't really struggle with mana too much because none of your abilities really cost all that much. The one that costs the most is just Temporal Anomaly. Like, Echo costs almost no mana. Living Flame doesn't cost mana because it literally refunds mana when you use it. Dream Breath costs mana, but like, it's a 25-second cooldown, so like, yeah, whatever. And Reversion doesn't really cost anything. But mana went from, like, not a problem at all, unless you were in, like, very, very tight fights, like Kajin from Dragonflight. Wasn't usually a problem at all because you had Communion as well, which was your best heal with Ramp, but also restored mana. Now you actually have to worry about mana a little bit, which is why a talent like that is situationally really good, if you use it like I do. And it makes Pres one of the only healers that doesn't really struggle with mana right now. The other being Mistweaver because of Mana Tea, and Druid if they take Master Shapeshifter, which isn't common.
What's this? New source for my experiments? Your soul be forfeit. This affliction.
Oh, nice. He pulls funnel on boss too.
Ads coming.
Make them suffer.
So you want to let these spirits collide into each other, but you don't want to proc all 4 of them at once.
I gonna poison your soul.
Careful with getting out of range of your teammates while they run around with the spirits.
From beyond the grave.
Can be a little sus. You can help your team with it by reading one of them, so you kind of like telegraph where you want it to go. Or like you create a central point.
You cannot stand against the vile branch.
We gotta rewind that because intermission after spirits. Excellent darkness. These balls will one-shot. I don't even think they do damage. I think they just kill you.
This affliction hit hard.
Ants coming.
Make them suffer.
You won't be targeted with this as a healer unless somebody's dead. Oh, we... Never proc 4 at once. Jesus Christ.
I gonna poison your soul.
Ants
Gonna be
coming.
tormented for your accomplished nothing. Rise. There still be many angry souls. I will keep them busy and keep them from feeding the monster. But the monster be up to you.
If you stand on the sides here, you don't get hit by the hands that come down. They do a stupid amount of damage and they knock you back.
Be careful. He seems powerful and unstable.
Seen a lot of tanks just go up the stairs once they do. Yeah, he's going. Yep. He's just... Okay, never mind, he's not. Very uncommon to kill this thing down here. But maybe for the best, honestly. Good dark. Questionable ROP. You're probably going to want to external your tank for every one of these. It does so much damage. Sorry for the lack of commentary right now, I'm trying to focus. Okay. I think I'm gonna actually use a mana pot here. Any CC works here except for Free Sigil. Wow, we got the 2 chests. Nice.
With the creature dead and the vile branch gone, we with the ball all be sleeping a little safer.